We are back again with very interesting episode today of the Aquila View. Today we have with us Team Godspeed from Bangalore. Moving ahead, over the next course of 20 to 25 minutes, we'll be talking to all of these young minds over different aspects of Formula One in schools and their very unique journey till here. So, before wasting any further time, let's get into the podcast. Firstly, welcome everybody to what we call the Aquila View family. We've been recording this podcast from almost more than 2 months now, right? And it's been wonderful talking to all of these people who are a part of this wonderful community of F1 in schools. And it feels so great to be a part of this wonderful community where people surrounding us are so, motivated and always supportive in order to do collaborations and just ready for everything. So, before actually moving into the podcast and I asking you all of these questions that I have, I'd like all of you to please break the ice for us by giving us a short and brief introduction about yourselves and what your role is in Team Godspeed, and just tell us, who you are as a person. We'll be starting with Anvesha.
Hello, I'm Anvesha and I'm the sponsorship and marketing manager for Godspeed.
All right, followed by Bhavya.
Hi, I'm Bhavya, and I'm the resource manager of Team COTS.
Amazing. Devansh.
Hello, I'm Devansh and I'm the team manager for Team Godspeed.
All right, Devansh. Ravish.
Hello, I'm Ravish. I'm the manufacturing manager for Godspeed.
Okay, Rinesh.
Hello, I'm Rinesh and I'm the design engineer for Team Godspeed.
Amazing. I till now, I probably know who is managing what department. So yeah, it would be very easy for me to direct questions for you. Amazing. So moving on, I guess. Firstly, I like you all to basically tell us how you all, started your journey in this competition, and how was Team Godspeed formed? Because as you were talking before the recording session, that you told that Anvesha has now moved to Vishakhapatnam and you guys all belong to Bangalore. So, how are you managing that stuff, and how you came together as a team?
I can that. Yeah, so basically, we formed Team Godspeed last year, and for most of us, it's our second or third year. Okay. Devansh was chosen team manager because he went for the previous year. So this is, I think, his third time. So he was chosen as team manager because he had more experience. Okay. And we did a lot of brainstorming for the name Team Godspeed. Okay, and our motto that we believe in accelerators and not brakes, because we just have to go forward. We can't ever go back. Even while designing our car, we can't like do the same mistake again and again. We learned from our last time the mistakes we made for our car, even though it was our first time. And this time we're fixing those mistakes. And for this year, what happened is we formed that team very early. Like right at the start of like when it was announced that we're going for open nationals, we had already formed that team and we had started working on our portfolios and car even before the information. So we took a step ahead because we needed like a edge on the competitors.
Amazing. Abhavya, I really like the way you told that. We just need to accelerate ourselves, and there's nothing like break. That's particularly what everyone and every team needs, right? No one wants to just stop or descend. It's just that we need to progress. Amazing. Devansh, you have something to add on?
Yeah, so basically, a brief history about our team is that Rinesh, who's our design engineer, and I were there in season two, and then we competed in the regionals. It was great. It was a great experience. And then it was season three, and sadly, Rinesh could not come. So Bhavya and I, along with another friend, we formed a team, and Anvesha and Misha were added to our team. But yeah, I'm happy with how it turned out. Oh, and also we added Ravish and Dinesh for the Open Nationals because one of our teammates left. So yeah, that's about it.
Amazing. I totally got your point, Devansh. I guess the next thing that I'd like to ask you all is that being, as I Being a part of this community of F1 in schools that is probably in, more than 10 countries, I guess, right? And almost, 100 of teams participate every year. So, what do you all think of F1 in schools as a competition? And why you guys have enrolled yourselves for this competition? And we'll start with Anvisha here, and we'll follow the alphabetical order.
Right, so at the start, when the school announced this competition, I was like, "Ooh, seems like a cool competition. I'll join and see what it's like."
All right.
And then as we started participating and putting in work and research, we learned so much, and I just wanted to continue in this competition.
Amazing. Definitely. Uh, Bhavya, why you enrolled for the competition?
Yeah. So I enrolled like I was like I think like me and Devansh decided to enroll. So one day he like came up to me and he's like, "Do you want to participate in this competition?" Okay, and it seemed really interesting because I was really interested in like at that time was designing, like so designing, and the other thing I was interested was in modeling. And That's why in the second season of the first time I joined, I went for design engineer. So that's why I was interested because it followed many of my interests, which I had
All
and
right.
still have. Yeah.
Amazing. Most of us have joined us here because, we particularly feel that we connect to the competition and we have some interest that aligns with the competition's module, or, how the competition works, right? Devansh, why you joined in for the competition since you have, a lot more experience? How do you think how do you see from your eyes that how F1 in schools is?
So initially it was just a fun thing to do with friends because we all liked CAD and CAM and stuff like that, like designing. So I joined and we experienced the whole thing. And then next year I realized the mistakes we made, and so we worked on that. And yeah, of course, we got a lot of experience that will help in the real world. So yeah, F1 in schools is an amazing event.
Exactly. I particularly relate to when you said that. We got to know how things work in the real life. I completely agree on that point. Right. Ravish, what's your perspective?
When I heard this F1 in schools competition, it was like exactly everything I'm interested of, with a mix of modeling, designing, teamwork, and everything. I asked Devansh's team if I could join them because it was gonna be a really enriching experience for me, and I'm finding out that I was correct.
Yep, completely agreed, Ravish. Rinesh, why you enrolled for the competition and what do you think of this community of F1 in schools?
So, pretty much at first, when we heard about the news of F1 in schools, I reached out to a few of my friends and I told them that I think this could be something good, it could be something useful, and at the same time, we would have fun and learn things. And definitely, it gives us a lot of real life exposure about not only designing on CAD and CAM, but more in the terms of portfolios and teamwork and how we organize our things together. So I think the F1 in schools community is amazing because it acts as a support. It acts as a support structure for young and amazing minds to help them grow and give them like an early on exposure. So yeah.
Yeah, completely agreed on everyone's point, basically. Also, Renee's. How F1 in schools is giving us a platform to solve and deal with the real world problems, be it getting sponsorships or, using the CAD and CAM softwares. From enterprise to engineering, everything that we are doing is something that would help us in the real life when we go and hit the field after our education. All right. Moving on, Devansh, this particular question is for you since you're managing the team, right? And I'd like to ask that what, according to you, are some true leadership skills, and what all challenges you guys faced while bringing the team to this stage of the competition?
So according to me, few leadership skills are collaboration. So you don't want to like boss around everyone. You need to work with them. You need to like understand everyone, what they're gonna do, and definitely at the start while deciding the roles, I mean it's a new team, so we did have a little conflict, but yeah, it was resolved and we worked great. So yeah.
Yep, Devansh, I completely agreed on your point of you saying collaboration is a true leadership skill, right? Because I mean, without collaborating, I don't see a future in anything, right? Because if you want to move ahead, you have to join hands. I mean, and you have to have that sort of a bond in order to, I mean, work in a team, right? So you call it bond or you call it collaboration. I mean, that is really important. I mean, Devansh, what were a few challenges that you guys are facing or have faced till date? I mean, if you could just brief out one of the case studies, right, and how you probably solved that particular problem.
Okay, so initially we hit a roadblock for the CAD and designing part, and for sponsors a lot. So for the CAD part, we just researched a lot and we understood. But for the sponsors part, I mean, we wrote emails, we made a presentation, we sent it to many people, but then no response. Finally, Bhavya, he got us a sponsor, which is Creative Minds, and they've been a great support for a long time. And we even tried crowdfunding because we can ask various people we already know to ask other people they know to ask other people they know to give us a little money for the competition. So yeah.
Yep, Devansh, I completely agree to your point of sponsorship, right? Because engineering is something that you'd learn out, right? But sponsorship is something that, I mean, if you are not getting a response, what to do? Right, and everyone, I mean, I'd come to that sponsorships part and I like the sponsorship manager to answer that, right? But I mean, moving on ahead, I guess this question is related to digital media and marketing. So guys, what exact strategy do you follow to keep up with your social media updated, and how do you align it with your team identity? Because team identity is also an essential part of the competition, even in terms of scorecards when they're considered. And what's your posting schedule like? I mean, how does that look like?
Right. So we believe in posting uh, regularly and posting what the public thinks is interesting. So we of course need to look at what was successful in the past and post more things like that. As for team identity, we use our team colors in our posts and portfolios so that it's our team and we need to be proud of it and represent it.
And also, I would like to add on. So, while we're posting, we have our target audience in mind, and we engineer and design the post by ourselves, keeping in mind compartmentalization, as well as the psychological feelings. So basically, when somebody sees a post on social media, when they're just scrolling through, the attention span they give to each post is less than 4 seconds. So we design our post to get our message through in that 4 seconds that somebody would be looking. So we try to visualize it more than writing text because a lot of unknown people on social media don't really bother to read the whole text rather than just look at it for a few seconds. So I think that really helps us in a way because we get to spread our information in a more elaborate and quick manner. And yeah.
Yep, Rinesh and Anvisha, I totally agree to your point and how you guys are aligning it with your team identity. Moving on, I guess, I mean, Devansh and we were talking about sponsorships, right? And how, I mean, I guess sponsorship is something that has become the backbone in the recent years of F1 and sports team because, I mean, everything we do need resources and resources needs funds, right? So, and I guess sponsorships have been a nightmare thing for all of the teams because I mean you really have to approach sponsors, and there's a lot of things that go into it, right? So I'd like to ask. I mean, I guess Anvisha is managing the sponsorships, so if I'm not wrong. right? So, I guess, Anbisha, what do you think is the strategy that you guys made in order to approach the sponsors? And how did you get them? Was it through the mutual connections that you guys have, or is it just cold emailing them and emailing them, and just sending the emails and getting and hoping for a response? I mean, what was it?
So, as you mentioned, getting sponsors is always sort of a big deal and hard. But this year, because of COVID-19 and how it hit certain businesses, it was even harder. So,
Yeah.
last year, like you said, cold emailing, typical emails and phone calls, that's what we did to gain sponsors. But as Devansh mentioned earlier, this year we tried to try something new. So we went for crowdfunding. And it was extremely successful with our financial aids. But then, on top of that, we were also able to gain some non monetary sponsors for printing our uniforms and stuff and collaborations. So that's really great.
Right. Crowdfunding was something that was unique. I guess not many teams do it, and especially if we consider our Indian circuit. No one has that particular idea of doing the crowdfunding, right? And yeah, as you told that collaborations and some non-monetary or kind sponsors, right? So that is also a good strategy when you know that all right, we need this particular thing, but no one would sponsor us that much of cash, so it's better that we go in kind, right? Amazing to know about that. Moving on, I guess the question here comes is about the manufacturing and design process of your car. So I'd like to ask you that how you guys probably design your car from scratch, because what's your inspiration, or whom do you look up to before start designing your car, and how does this process look like from just building that from scratch to just finishing it in terms of manufacturing and uh, I mean getting them on racetracks?
Right. So as you know, even F1 in schools has very strict and tight regulations, um, which kind of benefit us in a way, but also, but we also go through a lot of barriers while designing the car. So we don't really have like an inspiration as such, but we had always tried to take points that other cars had incredibly succeeded with their features. And it's not only F1 and schools cars. We actually try to take inspiration of our body style and our nose cones from real F1 cars, including McLaren, Ferrari, and things like that. So this year, we also had tried biomimicry because nature is an amazing thing and it's been designed in such an amazing way. And we actually tried implementing some of the aerodynamics used in birds or any aerodynamic animal for that matter. And I wouldn't say it was a great success, but it definitely helped us out.
All right.
And um, talking about the development of our car, we definitely started from scratch 3 or 4 times. And we would brainstorm on different ideas, make duplicates, and try different things on them. And right now, we would at least have 12 cars having at least 30 or 35 versions. And finally, we decided on one, we tested them, and we submitted our final designs.
That's amazing, Rinesh. 12 cars with around 30 to 35 designs, I guess. That's amazing. So, Rinesh, which softwares do you guys use for CAD and obviously CAM and what do you call the CFD, right? So,
So, for what we design our cars, it's called Autodesk Fusion 360. I think that's pretty much the default software that all F1 schools teams use. And for testing our cars, we used Autodesk Flow Design, which is an amazing and really powerful software. It gives us all kinds of insights and we have a clear picture on where to work on. And Fusion 360, no doubt, is one of the most powerful softwares I've ever used. It's just so capable and so easy to use as well. So yeah.
Yeah, Prinesh, I mean, Flow Design and Autodesk, I mean, Fusion 360 has some really great software used for designing in the industry. So I completely agree to you on that point as well. Uh, Moving on, I guess, I mean, we almost have came to a point where we could just conclude the podcast now. But before we do so, I mean, I like to ask all of you, since, I mean, we have around, I guess, almost 10-15 days left for the upcoming nationals, right? And so I mean, how do you guys feeling about the upcoming nationals? Since I mean, I mean, if I tell my personal experience to you guys, I mean, this is the first time that I'm participating in this competition, and I'm really excited to be a part of the nationals, right? So how do you guys are feeling about the same? And we'll start with Anvisha's. And
Yeah, so of course there's a lot of work to finish since the nationals is so close, but at the
yeah.
same time I'm extremely excited for it because of course this is something new. We had physical regionals, we had virtual nationals, and now there's hybrid open nationals.
Yes,
Something new.
exactly. Bhavya?
Yeah, so basically what happened last time was we didn't get a lot of information. So majorly we lost like points on like the pressure cooker challenge. We didn't get any information on that, and we didn't really know because it was the first time ever happening online. But then this year we were really prepared. We knew our mistakes from last time, and this time we had like really confident because last time it was the first time it was first time for all of us going for nationals. It was first time going digital, but now this time we know all our mistakes. We know what all we have to work to, and I think we in a whole is are very confident on this time.
Amazing, Bhavya. I mean, you look confident about the nationals, the upcoming nationals, right? Devansh, I mean, how you're feeling, and also since the team manager, if you could just, I mean, speak about team's progress and how it's going.
Oh, yeah, sure. So, personally, I'm feeling a little anxious, a little nervous, but also very much excited. Of course, there's still a lot of work. We still need to finish the portfolio, send it in. And yeah, I'm definitely excited about the races because, yeah, this is definitely a new concept. And yeah, the team's progress. I feel like we had a really nice workflow this year because we worked towards a goal. We knew what we were going to do. So yeah, that's about it.
Yep, Devansh. I mean, obviously, I mean, there are a lot of things to be finished on because it's almost, as I said, that it's almost 10-15 days left. I mean, it's on a verge to, I mean, just to conclude all of these things and do finishing and send all of these materials and tasks to the competitions portal to Time of Sports, right? Rinesh, I mean, how you're feeling and what do you think about knockout races and how your card will perform this year in the races?
So, I mean, I'm definitely anxious because, like, the development over the years of F1 personally has been amazing. If you look at my first year of F1 in schools, not gonna lie, it was a pretty big flop. But the way I and the team together have developed is definitely has definitely made a really big difference. And I think we're pretty confident this year because we learned from our mistakes from like 3 to 4 years. And we've reflected on that and made and kind of changed the way we do things to help us win. So yeah, I'm pretty anxious, but I think we're pretty confident this year.
I mean, Rinesh, I'd like to add on to your point. I mean, since you said that when you participated for the first time, it was a huge flop. I mean, it definitely was. I guess I completely agree on that as well. But I guess since then till now, the competition has really evolved a lot. I mean, because I mean, teams have started coming up. Kids have started showing up, and they've been really putting some really good efforts, I guess. And those efforts are probably making the competition's level up day by day, right? So I mean, that's the point, I guess. Right. So I guess I mean over these course of 20 to 25 minutes we covered all the questions that were related to manufacturing and engineering, I guess, and also some questions to digital media marketing and sponsorship, and how particularly a team manager should I mean manage a team, right? So I guess by this we have definitely came to an end of this wonderful episode with this all of these amazing people from Team Godspeed, right? And I mean, it was definitely lovely having you guys over the Aquila View, and I request all of our audience to listen to it. I mean, you definitely get something out of it, right? So till then, stay tuned to the Aquila View, and I'm your host Narayan signing off for now, and I meet you super soon.